Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. As we count down to Governor Fubara's return, Tinubu has made an order. Yes, my country people, let's find out more as we hit the news. But if you're joining us for the first time, you're very much welcome. I sincerely appreciate your presence. Kindly subscribe and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Now, according to credible sources, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered the Rivers Sole Administrator, the outgoing Sole Administrator, Ibok Eti Ibas, to prepare and submit a comprehensive handover note of his 6 months emergency administration before his 10-day vacation ends. Now, the report's handover would contain the funds inherited from Governor Fubara, the revenues generated during the 6 months emergency rule and their sources, and the expenditure made under IBA's stewardship and the various projects the funds were channeled into within the periods under the review with clear specifications. So this directive has effectively ended a spirited push within the National Assembly for a 3-month extension of the emergency rule, which would have kept Ibas in charge until December 2025. And the supporters of this extension had argued that the 3 months window would allow Ibas to complete some of the key ongoing projects like the reconstruction of the demolished House of Assembly complex, the ongoing workers verification exercise, and the installation of sensitive equipment in the government institutions. Had the move succeeded, Governor Fubara and other democratic institutions in Rivers State would not have been restored until, let's say, January 2026. So it was revealed that the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike had opposed the extension plot and insisted that the emergency rule must come to an end as scheduled. So Wike is strongly against any backdoor scheming whatsoever, or any person that wants the emergency rule to be extended, that Wike wants the emergency rule to be lifted as soon as possible. Highest September 18th, Governor Fubara should be back to the Rivers Government House. You can recall that on August 30th, after casting his vote in the local government elections, Wike publicly declared that the governor and the lawmakers were ready to return to the government house. 2 days later, the APC state chairman, Tony Okocha, reinforced the message, stressing that the September 18 date was sacrosanct, where he insisted that the APC and the lawmakers are ready to work with the governor. Another insider revealed that Ibas was instructed to ensure the report reaches the president 2 days before his return from vacation, noting that the president may likely make a pronouncement to lift the emergency rule on September 18th, a date that would make it exactly 6 months since the state of emergency was proclaimed. You can recall that Tinubu on March 18th imposed an emergency rule in Rivers to quell the unforeseen political crisis between Wike and Governor Fubara. So a Port Harcourt-based human rights activist, actually warned that global scrutiny may also shape Tinubu's decision. That upon return from Tinubu's foreign trip, Tinubu may face some, scrutinies. So they would want him to lift the sanctions and restore all democratic institutions in Rivers State to avoid any backlash from the American media or from foreign medias. So Tinubu would want to remove the emergency rule as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Governor Fubara, is currently preparing to be returned as the governor of Rivers. He's preparing to return to the Rivers State government house. And guys, according to news sources, Governor Fubara, was given some conditions. The APC gave him conditions upon his return. And those conditions include him not having authority over local government or even the Rivers State House of Assembly, because key appointments, key projects, And, some major spending and expenditure will be coordinated from Abuja to prevent conflict between Fubara, the lawmakers, and some political stakeholders in Rivers State. And we also heard that Governor Fubara has been offered the option to join the APC, that he should, move to the APC. And earlier, he considered moving his entire political structure to the APC, hoping for, a federal support over his political mentor, Nyesom Wike. But Nyesom Wike was 2 steps faster and ahead of him. So now Governor Fubara has no control over the local government, unlike as it's, every governor ought to have control of the local government and even the State House of Assembly. But as it is now, Fubara is going to come back as a handicapped governor, a governor that has no control over the local government, a governor that has no control over the State House of Assembly, as it normally used to be. So like this now, Governor Fubara is just going to be there as a figurehead. He's just going to be there as a placeholder, warming the chair for Nyesom Wike or whosoever Wike wants to replace Governor Fubara with in the next election cycle, in the next Rivers governorship election cycle that will take place soon. So at this point, all fingers are crossed for Governor Fubara. People are wishing him well, despite the political crisis in the state. A lot of people are still, hoping and praying for him. Tinubu and Nyesom Wike has really done Governor Fubara dirty. They don't really show Fubara shege where for that office. But what can we do? What can we do? The governor has not done anything. The governor is helpless at this moment. There is nothing he can do. And we also heard that Governor Fubara will not run again, in 2027, that he would not seek a return ticket. That was also what we heard. I guess that was among the terms and the conditions Fubara signed with Wike and Mr. President for his return to complete his term, to complete his tenure as the governor of Rivers State. So my country people, make una come shook mouth for this matter. Normally, this emergency rule is a breach of democracy. Tinubu has, laid siege on democracy in Nigeria. But what do we expect? We shouldn't expect much from someone that does not respect the rule of law, someone that is, impunity and corruption has ravaged his government. What do we expect? Well, Nigerians must shine our eyes, everybody got shine our eyes, because this is a mockery of democracy. It is a mockery of democracy. Imagine how other nations will be looking at us like we don't really have, the strength and the capacity to hold our leaders accountable. But I know that at the end of the day, Rivers State will be all right. The people of Rivers State will be all right. Governor Fubara will be fine. And I know that this peace deal is just a smoke screen. There is so much more underneath. There is so much more going on that some of us are not even aware of. But, this is Rivers. Rivers is owned by Wike and Mr. President. It may seem like all is well in Rivers State for now, but we know that all is really not well. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section. Thank you.